Let's go!
All right. Yeah, Peaches got it.
Yippee!
Here we go.
Okay.
What's going on? We're back for another episode of the Funtendo Market Report on today, Wednesday, March 6, 2024. Let's jump right into it.
Here we
The
go.
Dow Jones Industrial Average up 75.86 points today. The Nasdaq up 91.96 points today. The S&P up 26.11 points today, and the Nikkei exchange down 6.85% today. Let's jump into the London Stock Exchange FTSE indices. All indices are up today. Let's jump into the gold spot price. Gold up $20.60 at nearing an all-time high once again, and silver up 53 cents per ounce. Crude oil prices are up 97 cents per gallon today, up 1.24%. Let's jump into Bitcoin. Bitcoin down 0.037% within the last hour, up 4.95% within the last 24 hours. Goodness gracious, the Bitcoin bulls are running wild. Ethereum also up 9.91% within the last 24 hours and 14.68% within the last 7 days. Ethereum is on an absolute tear. Goodness gracious. It's a great time to be in crypto right now.
Yeah!
Let's jump into the next segment, Mario's Madness, where we cover the top stock gainers and the top stock losers of the day.
I got it.
Leading the pack, JD.com Inc. up $2.21 for a total of 21.54% change. MicroStrategy Incorporated up $195.20, up 18.57%. JD.com Inc. with the common stock also up $3.47. New York Community Bank Corp Inc. up $2.05. And Apogee Therapeutics Inc. up $7.39. Let's jump into the top stock losers for today. Foot Locker Inc. down $10.07 for a change of minus 29.35%. Oh my goodness, what a steep drop for Foot Locker. Nordstrom Inc. down $3.36. Thor Industries Inc. down $19.55. Paramount Resources Limited down 2.74%, and Grifols SA down 70 cents for a total of 11.35%. Let's jump into Peach's Paycheck.
Here we go.
These U.S. cities will pay you up to $15,000 to move there. Life in the United States is pretty expensive these days. Between seemingly eternal inflation, high interest rates, and the exorbitant cost of healthcare, many Americans are looking for ways to keep more hard-earned dollars in their bank account. One option gaining traction: relocation packages offered by some U.S. smaller cities and towns to attract new residents. According to MakeMyMoneyMove.com, an online marketplace connecting remote workers with locations making them offers around the U.S., the number of cities offering such incentives has more than doubled in recent years. The pandemic brought about a seismic change to work culture, and in 2023, more than 50,000 people applied for programs across the country through the platform. Tulsa, Oklahoma. When it launched in 2018, Tulsa Remote became the first program of its kind by offering remote workers and entrepreneurs $10,000 to move to the South Central U.S. city for a year.
Peachy.
Indiana. Indiana has been one of the most ambitious states when it comes to enticing a new wave of workers with financial relocation packages and perks. Dozens of cities and regions have an incentive package in place, according to Make My Move. As of 2023, some 340 households have relocated to Indiana through the platform. Kentucky. If you're considering a move to the bluegrass states, you have plenty of places to pick from.
Yeah, Peaches got it.
There are 8 cities and towns currently recruiting for new workers. The $8,800 package to relocate to Mayfield in Graves County includes $5,000 cash as well as plenty of other perks. 50% off after school childcare, lunch with the mayor, and a free monthly delivery of eggs, just to name a few.
All right.
Several cities also include $2,500 bonus on top of $5,000 cash to workers who bring a spouse who will work locally in healthcare or education. The Shoals, Alabama. Craving a dose of Southern hospitality for your next life chapter? In an area known as the Shoals, which spans 4 main cities and 2 counties across Alabama's northwest region, a program called Remote Shoals offers qualified workers up to $10,000. Rochester, New York. Rochester, New York. Remote workers who aren't interested in taking a bite out of the Big Apple can look to Rochester, whose Greater ROC Remote program offers $10,000 in grants and incentives, plus another $9,000 for home buying grants. Alaska. The last frontier is the most sparsely populated state in the U.S., with the 3rd smallest population, hovering around 700,000 for the last decade. But instead of dangling cash incentives to potential residents out of state, Alaska instead provides those already within its borders with a yearly sum from its Permanent Dividend Fund or PFD. The amount is variable each year depending on what the government provides. But in 2022, every resident received $3,284, the highest amount so far under the program. Michigan. Prospective college students or recent grads in the Great Lakes state, this one's for you. Approximately 350 scholarships and internships are up for grabs in the Michigander Scholars Program, which is designed to attract talent for the state's burgeoning electronic vehicle, mobility, and semiconductor industries. The Year-Old program awards scholarships ranging from $5,000 to $10,000 to qualifying recipients who compete in internship and or accept a full-time position in industries including computing, electronics, software development, or process engineering. In other consumer-related news, Baltimore vacant homes for $1? Some city council members ask mayor to halt proposal. Let's jump into the video and see what they have to say.
Here we go.
For a new policy to tackle the crisis of vacant homes in the city.
Council members asking the mayor now to halt a vote on a new proposal to sell vacant homes for $1, fearing that it could cause even more problems. Right now, thousands of vacant properties, those are crumbling, as you know, and posing some major safety risks.
WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is live at City Hall with the debate. Mike.
Nikki and Rick, the city has struggled for years to deal with vacant homes, and there were some fireworks at an oversight hearing that just wrapped up here a few minutes ago. Many would like to see a return of the Dollar Home program, which makes things cheaper and speeds up the buying process, but they believe the mayor's newest proposal is a flawed one.
They're all over.
There's so many risks and hazards associated with these vacant properties.
Maurice Brock lives in Carrollton Ridge, which has one of the highest concentrations of vacant homes in Baltimore. House after house, empty and in poor condition.
It's a definite safety risk for citizens, for city employees. Are fired
on a one-size-fits-all approach.
There are 420 currently vacant and abandoned properties that were sold by the city since the 1990s that are still vacant.
A lot of vacant homes in Baltimore. It seems to me as Baltimore has a lot of crime and a lot of impoverished areas. I don't necessarily know if selling a home for $1 is going to fix the problem, especially if they don't actually offer a loan along with the dollar home, because if you need $90,000 to rehab the home, how much is the home going to be worth? And in my opinion, most people that have $90,000 to rehab a home, they probably have good credit, so they're probably going to go to a better neighborhood than what you're seeing here in this news story. That's just my personal opinion. Let's get into the next segment, Warios recklessness. A man who crashed a snowmobile into a parked Black Hawk helicopter is suing the government for $9.5 million.
Here I go.
A man who crashed a snowmobile into a parked Black Hawk helicopter is suing the government for $9.5 million. Jeff Smith says he needs the money to cover his medical expenses, lost wages, as well as hold the military responsible for the crash. The March 19th crash almost cost Smith his life, and he's now the subject of a federal lawsuit. He is demanding $9.5 million in damages from the government. Money, he says, is needed to cover medical expenses, lost wages, as well as hold the military responsible. Smith's lawyers in the years-long case argue that the crew of the Black Hawk helicopter that flew down from New York's Fort Drum for night training was negligent for parking the camouflaged 64-foot 19.5 millimeter aircraft on a rarely used airfield, also used by snowmobilers. Smith argues that the crew didn't do enough to protect him, including failing to warn snowmobilers of the helicopter's presence on the trail, leaving the 14,500-pound aircraft unattended for a brief time, and failing to illuminate it. Our argument from the beginning has been that it's incompatible to have a helicopter land on an active snowmobile trail, Smith's attorney. The government has attempted to dismiss this case several times, arguing it can't be sued under the Federal Tort Claims Act since this involves a policy decision. They also argued that the court lacked jurisdiction and that the crew wasn't told they were landing on a snowmobile trail. They also pushed back on claims that they could have prevented on the accident, saying there was nothing in their policies that required illuminating the helicopter. They also attempted to cast blame on Smith, claiming that he was driving his sled more than 65 miles per hour at the time of the crash, and that he had taken both prescription drugs and drank 2 beers before his ride.
Mamma mia!
The night of the accident, Smith said he was over at his mom's house helping fix a computer. He had a beer with dinner and then another with his dad before setting off to meet his brother on the trail.
Mario Grand Prix.
Let's jump into the next segment. Bowser's blunders. Apple cancels autonomous electronic car Project Titan.
After 10 years and billions of dollars, Apple has abandoned its plan to create an electric car. Project Titan was intended to rival Tesla's EVs. But after a decade of work, the project never got off the ground, leaving many in the tech industry wondering what happened. So for more on this, let's bring in Ariane Marshall. She is a staff writer for Wired. Okay, what's the deal? 2,000 people working in this unit, 10 years, what happened?
Yeah, it was a long, kind of weird road for the Apple car. As you said, we first heard about this 10 years ago, but they've had a real sort of rotating door of executives at the head of the project. They changed ambitions a number of times, going from wanting to have a really truly driverless car to wanting to have a car with sort of automated features, which is much like many other cars on the road today. And really crucially, they never really found a good auto manufacturing partner, as a lot of other tech giants who have gotten into the auto space have done.
Wow. Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars wasted. It could even be $1 billion wasted on Apple trying to enter the car game. Now, from my opinion, based on what I can see, EV sales are way down. No one wants to buy them. The consumer demand is extremely low, especially in states that are colder. And there's too many issues that need to be worked out for much larger vehicles like EV semi-trailers. Let's jump into the next segment. DK's Dummy of the Day. The Philadelphia Phillies are scrapping Dollar Hot Dog Night following unruly fan behavior. For more than a quarter century, Phillies fans considered Dollar Hot Dog Night among the best ballpark promotions, but the team has now decided it was worst.
Bingo. Ho, ho, ho,
These dog days
ho.
of April, when Philly weather is cold and the wieners are a steal, are gone. The Phillies officially ended the popular promotion, Thursday and replaced Dollar Dogs on select dates with a 2-for-1 deal at 2 April games at Citizens Bank Park. Statement from the team said the change was made based on the organization's ongoing commitment to provide a positive experience for all fans in attendance. What wasn't positive about Dollar Dog Nights? Armed with projectile frankfurters, some unruly Phillies fans began chucking their favorite Hatfield meat during a game last year, and the dogs soared like cans of corn throughout the stands and onto the field. The demand for the discount dogs also led to clogged lanes, if not arteries, on the concourse, and cramped spaces led to security and safety concerns. You Philly fans that were throwing hot dogs on Dollar Hot Dog Night, you are the DK dummy of the day. Y'all know what time it is. It's Warios Witches Wednesday.
Real love witch. And when I say that, I mean real love. Not just real love witch. Real love. So love spells in the traditional sense, the way that people normally think about it, or a lot of the stuff that's on this app. I'm not judging anybody. It's just not how I move. So I tweeted the other day, some people misunderstood me. Some people wanted me to elaborate, so I will. But I said, instead of doing a love spell on that man, do a love spell on yourself.
Here I go.
And some people thought I was talking about self-love and all this other stuff. No, I mean an actual love spell on yourself. But I'm going to talk... Let me tell you why. Just stick with. So a lot of what I've been seeing lately is write their name 3 times, write their name 6 times, put it in this, put it on top of that, sweep it under this, whatever else. Don't do none. Here's what you're gonna focus on. Because you're gonna have to sit with yourself for a minute before you just jump into some stuff. If this ain't for you, you can keep scrolling, but we're gonna do some work if you talking to me.
On part 1. So basically, this is from my own personal experience, but this is when I was really obsessed with someone that I did a spell to like make them become obsessed with me. One of the rules when you're trying to do like spells, like love spells and all these kind of things, when you start to lose attraction to the other person and you try, like I did this thing where I did a love spell and then I done like a cutting cord spell. Do not do them in conjunction, because what happens is that it messes up the whole energy, and what happens is that for some reason the person just couldn't let go of me. So it doesn't work, because what I did was I did a love spell, then I did a cutting cord spell, and then I did a flipping love spell again, and these were like multiple things. So another advice is that if you're doing a very minor love spell, make sure you do a big love spell and then surround yourself with like small love spells.
Oh my, are you a witch? Yeah. I mean, you look so cute. I love your outfit. Can you actually record something for me? Yeah, for sure. Okay, sorry.
Ha.
What?
Why?
Women bleed, and that's a beautiful thing. Do you know that most men have never even seen a used tampon?
Mamma mia!
Pardon me. Always. I don't really like that.
Bingo! Bye-bye!
People I really cared about.
Wow!
Guys, you gotta watch out for these witches. They're out here, and your girlfriend or your wife just might be a witch.
Take that!
That's gonna wrap it up for Wario's recklessness for today. Let's jump into the last segment. Yoshi's Yummies. Oscar Meyer to launch first vegan hot dog later this year. Plant-based meat probably won't be served on a Frankmobile, the hot dog-shaped vehicle previously known as the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, but the iconic brand is launching a meatless option, the Kraft Heinz Not Company announced on Wednesday. Set to launch later this year, the products are the result of a partnership between Kraft Heinz and the Not Co. Inc., a startup backed by the wealthiest person on the planet, Jeff Bezos. We know people are hungry for plant-based meat options from brands they know and trust. In launching the joint venture's first product in the plant-based meat category, we saw an opportunity to satisfy these consumer cravings, leveraging NotCo's revolutionary AI technology and the power, equity, and legacy of the Oscar Mayer brand. The development comes as Impossible Foods' announcement in December that they would add a plant-based hot dog to its offering. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Funtendo Report on Wednesday, March 6, 2024. And remember, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Take that!
Hey, you very good. See you next time.
Bingo! Bye-bye!